had enough time to think about it. Life's not gonna get me down. There's nothing can stop me. Gonna make it in this town. I've got a rainbow in my pocket. I've got a dream that just won't die. I've got money my parents gave me, so it's about time I learn to fly. Doing it my way, seeing it my way. Got a lot of love to share. Life's a big banana sandwich. I haven't got a care.
The all-new Alexei Sayle Show.
I bought a pair of these kung fu slippers recently. They're bleeding useless. I mean, I haven't killed anyone with them yet. Sorry. I've got this uncle. He's quite old, you know, and he constantly lives in the past. People criticise him for it, but I don't know. I mean, the beer's cheaper. I think you should live in the present. If you can't live in the present, you should live in Leicester. There are people who are nostalgic, you know, people who listen to the same bands that were big when they were young, you know. So the last Rolling Stones tour grossed more than the national product of Guyana and had a worse human rights record. I actually got dragged along recently to one of them old farty band concerts, some Eric Clapton or somebody like that. Well, I noticed down the front of the stage there was this woman dancing like an idiot, you know. I thought, oh, that's exactly the same woman as who was dancing like an idiot at the last concert I went to in 1968. But when I looked closer, it wasn't like a middle-aged woman. It was actually quite a young woman. I thought, you know, I mean, what is this? Some kind of franchise deal? You know, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Has she bought the right to stand at the front of concerts dancing like an idiot, you know? Or maybe it's like a family thing passed on from mother to daughter. Maybe at public hangings in the 15th century, there was some stupid woman in a floaty frock down the front of the crowd going...
They killed his best friend.
No!
They threatened his family.
Why can't you leave us alone?
Now he wants justice. He's tired of doing things his own way. This time, he's going through the proper channels.
Okay, what you do, sir, you just fill out this form.
Yes.
And what we'll do is we'll type up a report and send it to Bradford to be processed.
Right, it just seems like a bit of a long time because they've threatened my family, you know.
Yes, well, as I said before, sir, we're a bit stretched at the moment.
The proper channels. This time, it's official.
What's even more pathetic than people who are into old bands is people like me who try and dig like what the kids are into, you know. Chasing Take That down the street, there's like a load of little girls and me going... Like on a Saturday, I try and go cruising in the herd with my posse. Which means taking the kids down to Sainsbury's in the Volvo. I am wild, though. I am wild. You know what I do is, you know those lights that stay on all the time in Volvos? I take the bulbs out. Yeah, wild things happening, dude. And like, I rap with my homeboys. I say, yo, dude, did you eyeball the latest Times educational supplement? Yeah, happening, baby. German scientists have recently discovered the gland that makes you go off pop music when you're exactly 37.5 years old. I tried desperately to keep up, you know. I listened to rap bands with names like Bosnians with Attitude, or heavy metal bands with names like Anyone for Cowpox. But it just doesn't engage me, you know. I just don't get interested in it, you know. But what sort of music am I supposed to listen to? Brass band music? And then suddenly I hear myself saying things like, oh, pop music today, oh, it's too loud, oh, the lyrics don't make sense, oh, the words don't rhyme. And I think, oh no, I'm turning into me mother. Oh, that's a bastard. He never phoned, no, and he's always going out without wearing a vest. Oh, he's terrible, terrible, that's son of mine. Oh no.
We've got him. He just has to make He's going to phone her, and it's going to all come tumbling down.
Will she be waiting for his call, or...?
No problem there. This is what he normally does on Saturday morning. He phones these people, and they give him whatever information he needs.
This is it?
This is it. Yeah, we've got him. It's going to be a straightforward call, then boom, we've got him. All right? I don't want to be premature. After 6 months' work, I think both of you have done pretty well. We deserve a few beers for this one, I think.
And whose round is it?
Well, not bloody mine, I'll tell you that.
After his arrest, this man was persuaded to do a deal with the Victoria unit. In return for a reduced sentence, he agreed to make one final phone call to Julie from Leeds.
So, Julie, you've seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves 19 times.
Well, I just saw it again, so that's 20.
20 times? Oh, that's incredible. And is Kevin Costner your favourite actor?
Yeah.
Have you seen all his films?
Most of them.
And do your mum and dad take you along to see the films?
No, my Auntie Jill. She likes him too.
Excellent. Your Auntie Jill goes along. And what about the other people? Do you have any other favourite actors?
I like Rodney from Only Fools and Horses.
Great. Well, thanks very much indeed for phoning in.
Can I say happy birthday to my sister Cheryl? Hello, Cheryl. Happy birthday.
Of course. Of course. Happy birthday, Cheryl.
Yes!
Thanks to Philip's phone call, Julie is now serving a 15-year sentence in Holland.
One of the things that divides us all is racialism. But there's one town in the southern United States that's an example to us all. The town of Comatose, South Dakota, where despite the fact that there are 10,000 black people and 10,000 white people, there is no racial trouble. Mind you, there will be once you let the 10,000 black people out of jail. Are things getting better or worse in the former Soviet Union, or anywhere in Eastern Europe? I've found that all over Eastern Europe, people are terribly, terribly intimidated by anybody in a uniform. Recently, I went to a conference and in the evening there was a formal dinner where people wore their old uniforms. So I went along in my old uniform, my old Burger King uniform. People went mad. I was carried through the streets by cheering crowds. They thought Stalin had come back. But, you know, people have got such short memories, haven't they? People have got such short memories, haven't they? You hear people in Britain saying, well, at least you knew where you were with Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, you knew where you were with Margaret Thatcher. You were f***ed.
Got an idea. It's such a lovely day. Let's go somewhere.
Oh, yes.
Shall we? I don't know.
Oh, come on, boys. Just for once, let your hair down.
All right. Yes.
What a day.
Did you have a nice time, Egbert?
Yes. Thank you.
Yes, it was sandtastic.
So you had a good time too then, Bill?
Yes, we must do it again.
In Eastern Europe, they're being forced into an enterprise culture that they don't really understand. Like, they don't understand the hard sell. Because they're opening these shops with names like Toys Are a Waste of Money, or Spud You Don't Like But You're Too Pissed to Notice.
Where's that bloody warm-up man? Where's Bobby Chariot?
Oh, I've been very unlucky, you know, love. Yeah, recently, my holiday home was burnt down by Welsh nationalists. A bit rough, really, because it was in Spain.
You get out there.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Mark, sorry. All right. Here we are, Bobby Chariot, top warm-up man. How you diddling? Bloody sod you, then. Aha, Bobby Chariot, top warm-up man here to keep you laughing and smiling through all the technical breakdowns, despite my own personal troubles, you know. I don't know if I told you, but I've been thrown out of my house by my wife, separated from me two lovely kiddies, Laura and Ashley. Hang on, they're not me kiddies, they're me whippets. I can't remember what me kiddies are called. Anyway, you know, I'm terribly depressed, as I say. I'm on pills for my nerves, you know. And I think the reason I'm depressed is, have you ever heard of post-coital tristesse? You know, that's when after you've had a shag, you feel all kind of... like that, all sad. Well, I think I've been suffering from that ever since I had a bunk up in 1964. Here, have you noticed that Glenda Jackson's become a Member of Parliament? Wouldn't it be interesting, if other show business personalities became Members of Parliament, like Bobby Ball? Ooh, I'm getting excited, Madam Speaker. Well, here, how about that Victor Meldrew? Ooh, I don't believe it, Madam Speaker. Oh, Nigel Mansell. Now, wow, Madam Speaker. I'll tell you what would be good as well, is if politicians became show business stars, you know.
Piss off.
No call for that, mate.
And we're back.
Oh, shit.
One of the most important departments here at the BBC is the sound effects department. Occasionally, I'll need a special sound effect which needs to be dubbed onto my show afterwards. So I'll come here to see Derek and Bob, who've been working in sound effects for nearly 50 years. Hello, Derek. Hello, Bob. Derek and Bob have done lots of shows over the years. Doctor Who, Animal Kingdom, Juliet Bravo, EastEnders. You name it, they've done it. So, Derek, this is your famous table of sound. What's your favourite item?
I suppose it'd have to be the rainmaker, as we call it.
So this replicates the sound of rain, does it?
That's right, because rain makes a variety of different sounds, depending on whether it's a heavy shower or whether it's a light shower. For example, a quiet little April shower might sound something like this. A thunderstorm would sound like this.
And for thunder, I'll push this aerial off the table.
There you go, one thunderstorm.
Ah, but you wait until it's accompanied by the right images, and you'll see.
I see. Bob and Derek have worked in the sound effects department since the early 1950s, when they teamed up with that crazy crew known as the Goons. In 1971, they met once again for that classic reunion show, which featured some of their most famous sound effects. Well, that just has to be the funniest show of all time. Tell us what you're working on today, lads.
Ah, well, you've come at a good time, Alexei, because at the moment we're working on your show.
Well, that's great, because actually I was wondering, we've got a horse in this week's show and we need some hoof sounds for it.
Well, that's quite common. People are always wanting the sound of horses galloping, and it's quite easy to do. Is that all right?
That'll do. I used used to have this job in an abattoir, stunning the cows. I used to say to them, do you know the public schools make huge profits, but they don't pay any tax because they're registered as charities? And the cows would be going, whoop. Eating meat's very bad for you, though, you know. Have you ever noticed that people who work in pork pie factories never eat pork pies? They always go, nah, mate, oh, no, I wouldn't eat them pork pies, nah, mate, nah. What's supposed to go into them's bad enough, but if you saw what fell into them vats, mate, nah. Oh, rats, horses, a full touring company of Jesus Christ Superstar, nah, mate, nah. I wonder if people who work in, like, nuclear reactors are the same, you know. Oh, if you saw what fell in them nuclear reactors, mate, nah. I suppose part of the problem is getting the right personnel, you know. And now firms use all this kind of pseudo-scientific mumbo-jumbo to try and get the right people. Like the latest thing is graphology. That's where they analyse your handwriting, you know. I went up for this job and they said that they could tell from my handwriting that I was a psychopathic nutcase. Just because I'd written, I'm going to murder all you bastards with an axe. Ridiculous. And I mean, filling in all them complicated forms is annoying. They have all them stupid questions on them, don't they? Like, age of father, if living. I put 127, because that's what he'd be if he was living.
How did the picnic go with Ward 11?
Not too well.
Oh, what happened?
You know how these day trips go. You win some and you lose some. Well, I lost some.
You lost some of the patients?
I know. One minute they're there, the next...
Where did you take them?
I can't remember the name. It's this place with a big thing sticking out of it.
A big rock kind of thing?
That's it.
Would you say in a certain light, this rock might seem to hang?
Exactly. It was a great big hanging rock.
Hanging rock? You took them on a picnic to Hanging Rock?
Yes. Was that a mistake?
Hanging Rock? You took them on a picnic to Hanging Rock?
Yes. Was that a mistake?
Oh, God. How many of them did you lose?
1 or 2.
How many exactly?
37.
37?
Matron?
I don't know how to say this.
Tried a bit sad with a suggestion of hope.
Dr. Jordan here took a party of patients to Hanging Rock.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
This reminds me of the time the Boomerang Club from the Manic Depressive Ward went missing in the outback. Only the Boomerang Club came back.
I read somewhere about an old Aborigine way of finding people who've gone missing.
Where in hell are we going to get an old Aborigine at this time of day?
No. I thought I'd do it myself. If I could just remember.
Try, matron, try. We've got to do something.
Wait a second. This might be it. Cooey, where are you?
Mysterious race the Aborigines are.
Cooey!
It worked, matron. You're a genius.
Dr. Jordan, I'm pregnant, and you're the father.
Crazy, I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy.
Oh, all right there. How you doing? Come on, come in, sit down. Yeah, have a seat. You know, I'm in this society, right? It's a bit like the sealed knot. You know those people who dress up in costumes and reenact battles of the English Civil War? Well, what we do is we dress up in costumes and we reenact TUC conferences of the 1970s. A bit like the Civil War, but more violent, you know. Anyway, it was our annual dinner dance, right? And I decided to take as me guest Naomi Campbell, the supermodel. But when I got out to her flat, right, she's wearing this John Paul Gaultier frock. I says, "You're not wearing that, are you?" She says, "Yeah." She says, "Why not?" I says, "Well, don't you think that Gaultier is guilty of mocking misogyny?" She says nothing for a minute, right? Just crosses over to the fridge, takes out a bottle of brown ale, and opens it with her teeth. Then she says, "What are you friggin' talking about?" I says, "Well, it's obvious, innit? I mean, the Gaultier is a woman hater intent on maliciously humiliating women with his, like, horrible conical bra tops, bustiers, and nipple rivets." She says, "I suppose that you prefer the tedious formality of, like, Armani or Versace, you dickhead." I mean, personally, I find Gaultier's, like, designs playful and liberating. That's just like, "Listen, Naomi, like, listen." I said, "You've got the physique to carry it off, just like I have." I mean, most of the older women who buy Gaultier stuff, I mean, they look hideous. That's when she squirted me in the eye with half an ounce of Calvin Klein's Obsession. At that very moment, right, Linda Evangelista, Yasmin Le Bon, and Christy Turlington, who'd been hiding in the wardrobe, sprang out and smacked me round the back of the head with a length of lead pipe. I mean, I had to hit them, didn't I? So, like, what I managed to do was, I managed to pop, like, Yasmin and Christy, like, with a 1-2. But Naomi, she knees me in the nuts, and I go down. She was just gonna, like, kick me in the head, when suddenly, Jasper Conran, who's been waiting in the car for us outside, he comes in. Now, there's nothing that Jasper likes better than a good scrap. So he wades in there, and he's belting supermodels left and right. And then suddenly, like, Christy turns and she says, "Eh?" She says, "What are we rocking about?" I says, "I can't remember." So, like, we all had a good laugh. And then we went down the British Legion for a pint. I mean, get a good laugh, really, supermodels. Hey, you're not going, are you? Oh, look, it was nice chatting to you anyway, and if you fancy a chat, I'm usually hanging around the bus station or in here, you know what I mean? So, I'll see you, all right, because I like a good chat, you know what I mean? It's become the trend in stand-up comedy recently to be much more confessional, to tell the audience the deepest secrets of your psychological problems, to use stand-up comedy in effect as a form of therapy. So, well, this is kind of difficult for me. But I'd like to tell you all that I am, in fact, a woman trapped inside a man's body. I'm Edith Piaf. I'm the French cabaret chanteuse Edith Piaf, known to many of her fans as the Little Sparrow, and known to others as the oven-ready turkey.
Oui, je le regrette. Oui, je regrette les pantalons et le canot et le matelot et le poodle too. Oui, je regrette. Oui, je regrette. Confondu. Le kebab, le vol, le béguet, le moteur, le chien, le mahar, le champagne à ton père. Oh, je regrette. Oui, je regrette cette tattoo.
Bobby, we've had VTR breakdowns, so get out there.
What?
Get out there.
Oh, yeah, all right, Mark. Fair enough, yeah. All right. How you diddling? Bloody sod you then. A couple of days ago, I went into this do-it-yourself shop, right? I said to the man behind the counter, I said, "Here, mate," I said, "give us a bottle of meth." He said, "Well, no way, pal." He said, "I know you, Bobby Chariot." He said, "You're going to drink it." I said, "Give us a break, lads. If I look a bit scruffy, it's just because I've been decorating the kids' room, you know, the kiddies' bedroom." He said, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry." He said, "I didn't realise, you know, you were back with your wife and that you're not separated from your kiddies anymore. You're not sleeping in your jack." I said, "No." He said, "Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry, mate." And he gave me this bottle of meth. I got it in my hand. I said, "All right, mate," I said, "haven't you got a cold one?"
Thank God we're back.
There seems to be some connection between the twinky-tweeness of the name of an estate and how rough it is. You know, you find yourself on an estate called something like Pixie Fairy Buttercup Bridge Farm. You know it's going to be like... There always is one family on an estate or in a street who's got to have every gadget going. You know, the latest gadget. But you can come unstuck that way. There was a family in our street. They had a Sinclair C5 equipped with an 8-track cartridge, a Betamax and a square reel. They were also the first family to get a Volvo with heated car seats. But I don't like those heated car seats. They make you feel like you've had an accident in your underpants, you know? They always used to drive down to France for the summer, so they'd ostentatiously stick those bits of black tape over their headlights. Why'd you stick that black tape over your headlights? Is it so the French can't see you coming when you run them over? I mean, the swallows stick bits of black tape over their eyes when they fly south for the winter. We're very different to the French, though, us British, aren't we? Like, take chestnuts. The French collect chestnuts and make them into lovely sauces and marron glacé, while we collect chestnuts, put them on bits of string, and hit each other with them.
Oui, je regrette plus. Oui, je regrette plus. On regarde le côté bonjour, le chemin de fer. J'aimerais la montrer, mon petit doigt, mon petit doigt. Oui, je regrette plus. Oui, je regrette que l'eau des champs, des boutiques de compoture, on a nous, le roi, les bandits,
Learning to speak a foreign language can be tiring and difficult. But not with the method that I've just invented, the random method. You see, it's only tiring if you're worried about making sense. If you don't mind sounding like a loony, it's easy. Take, for example, Spanish. You can be fluent in that in a matter of hours. You'll sound like a nutcase, but an authentic Spanish nutcase. Donde es el gato eléctrico? Empanadas, empanadas. El cielo es todo empanadas. Where is the electric cat? Pies, pies. The sky is all pies. Already, the random method is catching on at tube stations all over London. In many tube stations, you can see loads of people speaking random Scottish.
You're a bastard. You're a 50p for tap dancing lessons. You're a bastard. 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 You're a bastard.
What a strange dream. I wonder what it all meant.
Here, do you know what Freud would say about this? He'd say, what the friggin' hell's this? Because they weren't invented when Freud was alive.
We're still recording.
Oh, fuck.
I love ice skating, don't you? All that sliding about reminds me of being drunk. So I've given Torval and Dean my show next week, but I'll be back on Thursday the 27th of January at 9.